because you got your own community to come to sell your products. So when your corporation say, well, I don't know where your consumers are, where the black consumers are, where they are, you say, yes, I know where they are. We got one area in Detroit. We're going to build them in other cities. Just like you got an Asian town or Chinatown. And see, when you build these communities, you put up barriers too. Like in Chicago, where is Deborah? Like in Chicago, see my good friend Dorothy Tillman. See, Dorothy Tillman's been using those powernomics principles down on 47th and South Martin Luther King Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so what I told Dorothy, I said, you go in there and you find me a black area in Chicago and start building black businesses in there. And tell the rest of them, if it's not your community, so long, adios, goodbye. And bring in black businesses and put them in there. And she's been doing that. Am I right, Deborah? Okay, and you do that. And then I told her, she said, what else could I do? I said, once you build these communities so that your marketers and developers can get in, you mark and close your community just like the others do. When I go into Chinatown, as soon as I come around the corner, I'll see a big pagoda. And I'll see all kind of flags, and I'll hear ching dong, ding dong. I know they marked that community, that's theirs. And they're going to use their language and go look at the street signs. They're going to change those street signs so that it reflects their culture, so it's closed, so you can't speak the language, you can't get in and get out. You got to learn, so what Dorothy Tillman does, and you go down there, Deborah, see, you look up on those telephone posts. Am I right? Thank you. See, and you see those big silhouettes, gold silhouettes of a silhouette of a black man with either a saxophone or a trumpet. Am I right, baby? That's right. And that you do the same. You build your communities and close them. So what you got a market to promote your products in. And not only and now you got a closed community. And when you put up those barriers, that gives you a competitive advantage, just like the Asians got a competitive advantage in Chinatown. And the Hispanics got a competitive advantage, like in Miami. See, when you go into Miami, when the Cubans came into Miami, when I'm over education down there, the Cubans went in and took over all the distributorships, all in South Florida, so they control the industries down there. And they use their culture and their language as a barrier so no one else can get in. When I go in and say, why don't you Cubans learn how to speak Spanish? They say, why? No. That's our barrier. That's what protects our community. That's what protects our businesses and keep out the competition. And if anything, if you want to deal with us, you better learn Spanish and come in here, but you're on our turf. And but see, our people won't do that. They'll integrate. And like out in California, in Oakland, California, where they had this big issue about speaking Ebonics. A lot of our civil rights leaders went and jumped all over Oakland County saying, you know, it's bad for you to be allowing the kids to speak Ebonics and use Ebonics as a second language to teach our kids English. Wrong. There's nothing wrong. There is no such thing as bad English. The whole point of a language is to communicate. As long as people can communicate, every piece of language is good. If I right now would tell you I can start a language right now saying oop is up and is down. And if I say you know I said down. As long as you can communicate, it's good. They jump all over our black kids about, well, they got to speak perfect English, non-standard, they got to spend standard network English. They don't have to. They only have to speak standard network English when you don't have a community. And now your black children are forced to leave your community, go to somebody else's community to get a living and earn a life. If they stayed in their own community, they wouldn't have to speak. They could get along with speaking what people they call flat English, broke English, non-standard Negro dialect. It doesn't make any difference. You have never run into a black person yet that couldn't understand what another black person was saying. And don't let them BS you all. As long as you stay in your own community, got your own community where you got jobs and business opportunities for your own people, you can get away with talking any way you want to. But now they're going to put the emphasis on your speaking and sounding white because you don't have communities anymore. You got to go to their communities to get jobs. And to get a job as a marketer, you got to speak perfect, what we call standard network English. So you got to learn how. So in other words, all those things are used as barriers to either keep you in the market or keep you out of their markets. And most of the white communities are not going to let you in there as a promoter because they got their communities locked and boxed. Everybody's community is locked and boxed except ours. We don't have communities. You can come and go anytime you want to do anything you want in the black community. But in Detroit, Michigan, we're going to build our own communities. We're going to build our own factories. We're going to produce all kinds of products, services, and goods. And we're going to distribute them up the chain. And we're going to invite people like you all to come in and start pushing our products with our own people. We're going to ask black athletes across the country to promote our products. And we'll put up a leather factory that we got coming up in Haiti. We build a leather factory. We're going to ask the blacks in the United States in our cut and sew factories to come in and promote, and instead of selling Chinese or Asian leather, to sell good black leather in the United States. We're building a seafood factory in Detroit that's going to be one factory alone is 5 times the size of a football field. We'll be the biggest producers of seafood not only in America but in the world, right in the heart of the black community. And all of our businesses will be factories will be right in the heart of the black community. And all our distributorships right in the heart of the black community. They're all aggregated. So blacks can drive down there and park and do anything they want. They can walk and shop. So when people say, well, Dr. Hans, where can I find the best furniture in the United States? I say, you go to High Point, North Carolina, or Lexington, North Carolina. They said, good. And I said, now where can I go and find all the blacks who are producing products and services and goods where they're being marketed? I said, you go to Detroit, Michigan. That's where we're starting out. Where everything you want, you can go in Detroit and find any black person producing and manufacturing anything, you'll find it in Detroit in that community. And there'd be miles of it. And so that you all can then get in a better posture. But right now, you all are marketing with one arm behind your back. You're trying to figure out how to market in Hispanic, white, and Asian, Arab communities that people don't want you in and not going to let you in. And you're serving somebody else's company and corporations that are simply tolerating you there if you can figure out a way to justify your existence. The same thing going on in law firms. Black lawyers got wiped out by the integration process. They go to a white firm to be a partner. They got to bring some white businesses there. They can't be a black partner in a white law firm. They can't bring the businesses in. And so you're working for a white corporation. How do you show you can control all these black consumers when the black consumers are all over America, scattered? So in conclusion, what I'm saying to you, I know my time is up, is that you got to learn how to rebuild these communities. We're going to build them in Detroit. We learn how, and we're going to do 2 things. We're going to teach you how to stop the capital drain out of your neighborhoods. Right now, we're not practicing group economics. Your money is supposed to bounce 8 to 10 times in your community before it leaves. Hispanic money in the United States bounces 6 to 7 times. White money bounces 8 to 12 times. Arab and Asian money bounces 13 to 14 times. Jewish money bounces 18 times. Black money does not bounce once. As soon as a black person gets paid, he runs straight to someone else's store in someone else's community and spends his money. And those people in turn do absolutely nothing for the black community. They put up stores all over your community and they suck the money out. In Detroit, Michigan, right now, the problem is Detroit has got about a $200 to $300 million deficit. The reason they got a deficit in Detroit, Michigan as a black city and all these other black cities is because the black cities are not practicing group economics. That's why they're depressed and run down. Detroit, Michigan has almost 1 million black folk there. They have an annual disposable income of over $12 billion. They're spending another $8 billion in the government services and another $2 billion in the school system. That comes to $22 billion. Now, if that $22 billion was being practiced in group economics and bouncing at it just 10 times, that means they would have $220 billion worth of annual disposable income in that city instead of a $300 million deficit. And what's happening in all these major cities when you go out to try to promote your products and services, you got to understand that all the money you take out of the black community, you're not developing black communities, you're destroying them. You're taking the money out of your own people's hands and putting it in other people's hands and other people's company. In Detroit, Michigan, these other cities like Cleveland, St. Louis, Milwaukee, black communities are subsidizing other people's communities. All the white communities, ethnic communities, Asian communities, Greek towns, China towns, Mexican towns, they are living off of 2 incomes. They're living off of 100% of their money and 98% of yours. And also keep in mind that the other thing we got backwards is I want you to get out of is looking for jobs, produce jobs. We are the only people in the country that work for other people. 97 to 98% of all the white people in America only work for whites. Asians pretty much only work for Asians. Arabs only work for Asians. It's just the reverse, where 98% of all black people work for non-blacks. And they don't need your labor anymore and don't want your labor. So in Detroit, Michigan, y'all watch what we're going to be doing in Detroit. Come up and support us. Well, we're going to build these communities. We're building industries. We're going to be selling stock all over the country. When it goes on the stock exchange, you can buy the common stock and own parts of all the stuff we're building. We got about another 8 cities are going to follow suit. They're going to do the same thing Detroit's doing, and we're going to build these big communities all over America to make it very easy for you people in marketing to come in there and market your products. You don't have to market necessarily white products, but you can market white products. We don't care. But you also have a chance to market black products. In our factory, we're going to have juice factories, drink factories. We got soda factories, got bottled water factories. We got napkins and plastic eatingware factories. We got leather factories. We got black beauty aids and black hair care factories coming in. We got the seafood factory. We got black poultry distributors coming in. We got blacks coming in, bringing in made in Africa garments with clothes and sheets and pillowcases. We got 20 African companies going to be shipping in products from plantain, coffee, tea, and coconut oil and everything else. You'll be able to come in and get everything you want. And we're going to need you all in your expertise. You all got the experience, you got the skills, you got the consciousness. We're going to want you all to come join us and help market some of our good black products to all of America and to our people. Thank you.